how I put this delicately, it's game day, baby. New York Jets, Denver Broncos must win week 5. Sean Payton, Nathaniel Hackett, so much to get into. Zach Wilson, encore performance. Who knows what could happen? Let's get into it now. Zoinks! It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Connor Rogers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
Good morning. What's poppin', everybody? My name is Paul Austin Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. This is Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show every gosh darn morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Although in Dallas, we tried a different time zone, and we flirted around, but it is 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, people. And I want to thank you all for joining us. We have tons of comments already before the show's even started. It's beautiful. And every Sunday, we've confirmed it happens, baby. Weekly Woody with none other than James Woody. Take Flight Talk and his Woody 3 that we talk about here on the program. Not sure why I went higher register there, but nonetheless, let's bring him on the show.
I love it. Woody 3 every Sunday.
There you go.
We here for it. All right. Game day. I'm hyped. I am absolutely hyped. Revenge, like you said. Woo.
Yes.
I mean, I'm expecting a dub. I mean,
yeah, as am I. Yeah, I expect a dub every week, to put it frank. Yeah, that I am. So I'm ready for this one. Although it's weird, I will say this. Sunday Night Football was really weird because last week you're just waiting all day. 1 o'clock games go by, 4 o'clock games go by, and you're just do. Oh, wait, we're the last game on in town. I know there's Monday Night Football, but like for a game day of football, long day, London football. So we had London 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So we're like, wait, and again, that's the case today for all those levels of football. But the Jets play at 4:25 this week. They play at 4:25 next week for the Eagles game. So I'm just not used to this as a Jets fan, quite frankly, is what I'm trying to say. I'm used to 1 o'clock. Alrighty, kids, let's go. And for all that, it's just it's a new world experience, which shows the hubbub that's been around the New York Jets. So it should be juicy, Mr. Woody. Long story short, it should be juicy.
Absolutely. And allow me to take some of this egg off my face for last week. I mean, you tried to tell me, Boy Green. You tried to tell me.
Listen.
The spirit of Aaron Rodgers, was just permeating through the team. It was, I was expecting the smackdown, and it was not a smackdown. If anything, it did kind of resemble wrestling a little bit with the ref getting involved, to cause the decision. But no, what a game! Zach's best game of his young career. Is it a young career? I don't know, 3 years, but still his best game.
Still relatively young. Yeah.
And so allow me, because that was on me. I wasn't believing. My heart wanted to, but my mind wasn't letting me get on that train that you were on.
Well, Woody, I tried to tell you, but you don't listen to me, and that's fine, I guess. But hopefully, how do they say it in this business? You better listen to me next time, pal, or it's on you once again. Shame on you once, shame on you again twice. I don't know what's crocheted on the pillows, but the point is that the New York Jets, while moral cookies are lame and they don't taste very good, and there's a bitter quality there. The end of the day, you went toe-to-toe with the Super Bowl champs, and you should have freaking won the game. But now you're going from Super Bowl champs to someone who gave up 70 points earlier this season. I was gonna make a bigger joke about it, but let's just be blunt. Let's just be bones about this, and I think that's the best way to put it. Before we get started with our weekly Woody and our weekly 3 here, the Woody 3, before we get there, before, I'm a bit perplexed. And the reason I'm perplexed is the tweet I'm literally about to send out. And Ritsamini and a few of the Jets beat reporters do this, where they try to project the inactives. So, folks, there are 53 players on a NFL roster, plus the 16-man practice squad. But each week, you don't get to play with 53 players. Ask the NFL about that if you want to get that rule change, but they don't. They have a limited game day roster. So a bunch of players, long story short, have to be inactive. And, the Jets have made some waves this season with making, Will McDonald, a former first-round pick from April, not like former like a couple of years ago. I think in this case, Woody, I can say young career. Months into it. I believe that fits the category, just to say that. So we've had Will McDonald. People go, what the hell? We've had Al Woods. What the hell? We've had some weird ones. We may get an even weirder one today. According to Rich Cimini's prognostications, Mecole Hardman is projected by Rich Cimini to be a healthy scratch. Now, his projections aren't guaranteed, like a guaranteed piece of shit in a box. Get my Tommy Boy reference in here as early as I can. But he's normally pretty good at this, and he projects and prognosticates that Mecole Hardman will be a healthy scratch. And here's my thing. And I've been asking people all week about this. And by the way, I'm super proud of this Boy Green Daily Week, Benjamin Albright and Phil Milani and all these wonderful people, and Weekly Woody, obviously, the cherry on top of that pie each week. Mecole Hardman has played 22 snaps on offense this season. And I just say this as I'm about to tweet this out. If you're not going to play him, you might as well trade him. I just don't understand. Now, I love the Xavier Gibson jet sweeps. Again, I'm happy for the kid, but you just can't find a way to use Mecole Hardman. Rich Cimini had it in his Sunday morning column. The last time Mecole Hardman played the Denver Broncos, he had like 8 catches for 120 yards and like 2 touchdowns or something. On a Chiefs Super Bowl roster, he's making plays, but on the Jets, sorry, you're not good enough, kid. Then why'd you give him $4 million guaranteed? I just don't understand. Woody, quick thoughts on this before we get into your Woody 3.
Equally perplexed. I don't understand. They went after him this year. They thought that they were gonna, they've been talking very highly of him. He wasn't used correctly in Kansas City. We're about to unlock his potential, and then hasn't unlocked anything. They've actually locked him up to speak.
Yeah.
On the bench, and I don't even think our personnel speaks to that. Maybe if they did get DeAndre Hopkins, which I was praying to every night, got some of these other players, but I don't think Randall Cobb is a reason to limit the snap count of Mecole Hardman, especially when speed kills in this league. Why did the Dolphins put up 70 points on the Broncos? Because they had 6 people or 6 of the fastest speeds in the NFL among
they had 6 Mecole Hardmans. That's what you're saying. They had 6 Mecole Hardmans. Yeah.
Pretty much. And we have 1 Mecole Hardman, maybe two. Put Gibson up there. Gibson's,
Sure.
And and last week was the first time we used Gibson on the offensive side of the ball, outside special teams, and then Hardman is just so it is definitely perplexing. Kind of reminds me of James Robinson, where I was like, oh, all right, let's go. He was being underutilized in Jacksonville. Had the one game against the Bills, and then didn't. He just fell out of favor. I feel like this coaching staff still sometimes, is just stiff, in their ways. They don't like to try to make the most of the player. They're just like, oh, this player doesn't fit our system, and then just cast them aside. It's really interesting.
It seems to be, again, I don't want to go too deep on this because we'll get to the Jets Broncos game day preview here as we're almost halfway through the show already. But it just seems like a poor use of resources. You throw $7 million at Dalvin Cook, you throw $4 million at Mecole Hardman, you kind of shrug your shoulders and go, well, if you're going to piss $11 million away next time, hey, I'll give you my address. You can send $11 million this way, but I guess that's neither here nor there. We'll see what happens. Again, the Jets play at 4:25, so we should get the inactives in a handful of hours here. So we're recording live, like I said, at 7:30. Let's get into it. And every week we reference this Woody 3. If you're watching on YouTube, you will see the visual that Mr. James Woody tweets out each week that you can see. There's also a full column for the Jet Press, sister network, fan-sided, covering all things New York Jets. So you guys can see that. But we'll also walk through each of these bullet points. It's 3 things that Mr. Woody is looking at in the Jets-Broncos game. Sometimes they're trends or fun facts or God knows what. There's a lot of creative liberty here, Mr. Woody. So I already like, as I look at number 1, me likey, Tommy likey. Yeah. You tell me. Yeah. Let's get into it.
Of course, unleash the breeze. I mean, this is something that I pretty much have been saying all year. They've been hiding behind 2 words. 2 words. They keep talking about pitch count, but they haven't even been consistent in the pitches given to Brees. So now that those 2 words are gone, it is time to unleash Brees against the team in the stadium that he suffered that devastating injury. It is time to unleash him. He is currently 2nd among all running backs in the NFL in yards per carry, 6.6. That is absurd. I mean, the boy, he hasn't even had 16 touches in a game and has already had 140 yards in a game. So just feed him. Against this Broncos defense specifically, they have not allowed, but there have been rushers that have carried the ball 18 times. That is a consistent number. Josh Jacobs did 19. Brian Robinson had 18. We had Khalil Herbert have 18. Devin Chan had 18. And Brees hasn't even touched a football 18 times in a game yet. So unleash this man, feed him, and let's see him run all over the Denver Broncos defense.
I will say, before the season, I was almost willing to bench Brees in this game. Obviously, we had no idea what it was going to look like with his rehab, but just for the juju. You know what? Just don't make the trip to Denver, Brees. Just stay bubble wrapped and safe in the New Jersey area. But as we've gone through the actual season, again, that was kind of like a random thought in the offseason. But now that we're here, I want him to unleash and give him the business. The Broncos allowed over 700 rushing yards this season. That is dead last in the NFL, or first, if you want to look at the other way, in number 1 in that category of most rushing yards allowed, if you prefer that statistic. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities here, and I love it. So hopefully this is the Brees Hall game. Hopefully the words all come at the right time. So I was saying no pitch count and everything else. That would be fantastic. All right, let's go to the next 80 song here. Number 2 on your list, number 2 in the jersey number, but number 1 in all of our hearts. Woody, what do we get next?
I don't know about that last one, but back to that. We'll see. Is this about to be a back-to-back performance? I will not lie. Before I was looking at numbers, before I looked at this Woody 3, I wasn't sure. But then after looking at what the Denver Broncos have done, we want to talk about the rushing stats that the Denver has done. Look at the numbers that they have allowed the likes of Jimmy G, Sam Howell, Justin Fields, and Tua to perform against them. And 2 of those guys are guys that have pretty much been struggling all season. Yet, they, on average, have a 78 completion percentage, 285 passing yards per game, 3 TDs. 3 TDs. Not any one of those guys have thrown any less than 2 TDs against the Broncos, and 0.5 interceptions. Only 2 of them threw a pick. It was Fields and Jimmy G. But Howell, perfect. Tua, perfect. So when I look at that, I mean, that almost looks like the stat line that Zach just had against the Chiefs. So with everybody hyped up, talking about, we're going to defend our coach, Nathaniel Hackett, with everybody hyped up, talking about, wow, Zach can actually have a great game. What is stopping this team? What is stopping this player, Zach Wilson, from having a game that completely resembles the games that the Denver Broncos have been allowing the opposing quarterbacks to have all season? This, if you ask me, will be the first game in Zach Wilson's NFL career that he throws 3 touchdowns back to Zach. I think this is about to be a good game.
You unlocked the stat I was just about to say. That has never happened before. And Rich Cimini had it in his post about how unusual that is to have this many starts, and that statistical phenomenon to not happen yet is very peculiar. But yeah, that would be phenomenal for Zach's confidence, I think, because obviously, how could he not be riding high? I understand the fumble, and the fumble is just like, let's all be honest. Like a few people have been reaming him about it. It's just unlucky, right? And even I would even say less unlucky because, or more unlucky, however you want to describe it, because as he described the play, he knew the pressure was coming. He just didn't make the protection call. So it's not like it surprised him that the guy was coming, but he was just trying to cheat. He was trying to lean back, get the ball, and just do a little more. It's like when a receiver goes to catch a ball and says, all right, I'm going to do this spin move. I'm going to do this. This is going to be amazing. Oh, wait, I dropped it. Son of a, what the hell? What just happened there? So I think that happened to Zach and that quarterback play, which makes me go, oh, I'm glad that he was thinking through all that and a little too much information came through as opposed to just dropping the ball. So again, we will see. I am expecting a big Zach game as well. We go to number 3, and this is first off. I'm going to yell at a bunch of people that were yelling at me because this is our platform. We can do whatever the hell we want. Okay. So earlier this week, DJ Salah reveals it's on Wednesday, although it happened earlier in the week, but Salah withheld the information. Fine, I don't care. You want the gamesmanship? Sure. Okay. So Wednesday, he tells the media, Robert Salah, that DJ Reed has entered the concussion protocol, but I am super confident that he's going to play. I immediately raise a red flag because when Robert Salah is confident in any injury, I'm like, that guy's dead. That's immediately my thoughts, and I'm about to see that on the police scanner a few days later. That's how I feel about Robert Sala injury. But he said super confident he's going to play. I'm like, oh, okay, let's see with DJ Reed. But I'm like, I don't think so. I think he's going to be out. And also, Rich Meany shared the stat that no one that has suffered a concussion 1 week has not played the following week. That hasn't happened since last season with Kenny Pickett. So the new concussion rules and everything else, I think not necessarily new concussion rules, but like a higher emphasis on like, hey, let's be overly precautious here. Then Salah comes out later in the week, goes, damn it, he's out. I don't know what happened there, but he's out of the game. He's not playing. And then I read an article saying, Robert Sala's getting roasted online on Twitter for like being a jerk with injuries. I don't think that's gamesmanship. I think that's being an idiot. Like, there's no gamesmanship when your record is like 0 in 1,000 with every injury prognostication. I think this guy's going to be fine. He broke his leg in 30 places. Wow. This guy's definitely not going to play. Oh my God. He just jumped out of the wheelchair. He can walk. So like Roberts, I don't understand how that could possibly be gamesmanship because he's always wrong. But I posted this article on our Facebook page, Heavy on Jets, and people go, BS, go Salah, way to trick the team. By the way, when he was doing that against the Patriots, did that work? Oh, wait, they lost that game, didn't they? Oh, so his injury waving the magic wand didn't work there. So like when you have the record that Robert Salah does, and then you have all the injury bullshit, for fans to go, yeah, Salah, yeah, coach him up, baby. Yeah, Paul, you're a dumbass for writing this article. Screw you people, okay? Screw you, okay? That's not gamesmanship. It's him being an idiot. So I just wanted to make that perfectly clear as we head into the final bullet point here, because the Jets are in some real doo-doo, is my professional term, at the quarterback position. They're going to have to call some audibles at the line of scrimmage here. Let's get into it, Woody.
I would like to hope that it's not doo-doo. Maybe it's just gas, because Bryce Hall is somebody that I was a fan of. I was a real big fan of. I thought we had CB1 when we drafted Sauce. I said, we got a elite tandem. We had DJ Reed, and we did have an elite tandem. It's just that Bryce wasn't a part of it, right?
Yes.
But
yeah,
right before then, he was 6th in the NFL in pass deflections. I mean, the boy, he was doing serious work, and of course, that was against some of the league's best wide receivers. Diggs was still in the division, right? There was still plenty of talent, and Bryce Hall was holding his own. I think, if I'm making a diagnosis or hypothesis, if you will,
sure, doctor. Yeah.
I'm thinking, just that confidence, like to be that good that early on. I think that was just his second year where he was accomplishing all this. And then the team drafts Sauce, signs DJ Reed, pushes him down. the totem pole, just has a lot with his mentals, because now his highlight reel is, getting burned by Kyle Pitts in the preseason last year. I think my editor at the Just Press pointed out that he is the last ranked cornerback by PFF. That is 167th out of 167 quarterbacks. He's ranked dead last. So, all of that goes into the mentals, but he's only 25. Can he just recalibrate and take this golden opportunity? I looked at the depth chart. There's actually no other option. You move Michael Carter to the outside, or Justin Hardy, but it's really Bryce Hall. So can he take this golden opportunity and show why he was CB1 not too long ago? So I have faith in him, actually.
Yeah, okay, here's a couple of things. First off, I love your Bryce Hall part of Sauce and DJ Reed elite tandem. He just wasn't a part of it. It's like when I say, hey, just so you guys know, I just want to share the statistic at the top of the show. Me and Tom Brady have combined for 7 Super Bowls. Sure, he has 7 of them, but we combined for 7. We're a team of 7. It's like Bryce Hall. Yeah, we got an elite group, man. Michael Carter II, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, and me. Like, look at the numbers; they're spectacular. Bryce, you haven't been playing. Look at the numbers; they're spectacular. Like that's where we are, Bryce. I will be honest, because when he first got drafted, an incredible steal for people who forget. He has the major injury in college, which was Virginia, slips all the way to the 5th round. The Jets grab him, and I'm like, man, what a great guy to have. And again, he missed a bunch of it the first half of the season with the injury, obviously. And then all of a sudden, we think we have the surprise CB1. And then all of a sudden, he went from the apple of our eye to boom, screw Bryce Hall. And like he had to come in because Brandon Echols gets out with a hamstring injury. So he's out. He's your top reserve. He's out. DJ Reed not playing. Again, he's one of the starters. He's out. And then he played the entire game last week, and then concussion symptoms showed back up on Monday when he came in. But Bryce Hall had to go in for this key 3rd down, and he was either, I can't remember if he was one-on-one with Travis Kelce or who he was one-on-one with, but he immediately blows it. DJ Reed's just like stomping his feet like, darn it, you had to do a kerfluffle, not a kerblopple. Damn it. and so he just like loses crap out there, and I immediately go, gosh darn it, Bryce Hall. But you're right. There's no other choices. The only corners now on the roster available, Sauce. You have Michael Carter II. You have Justin Hardy technically, but he's exclusively special teams. So I imagine he's not part of the plan. And then Bryce Hall. That's the list. Now, the good news is they elevated, practice squad elevation, Craig James. So you have him for this game, but he's also another special teamer. So Robert Saleh seems to have a plan. He seemingly hinted at some shuffling. Me personally, if I was making the decision here, Woody, I think I'd keep Michael Carter II in the slot because he's just really good in the slot. So keep him where he's doing great, keep Sauce where he's doing, and then just fill one gap, to your point, of Hall, potentially by moving Michael Carter II outside, which he's played less than 12 snaps in his career as an outside corner so far with the Jets. Again, another young career. Not quite sure if I can use that terminology for a comedian one line we keep going back to throughout the rest of the comedy show. But so I would probably keep him in the slot, although Michael Carter II, apparently with the media, did a very big slap on the table. Hey, it's not that. It's harder for people to go from outside to inside as opposed to inside to outside. So he feels like he could definitely step outside, and then you put someone else in. I just feel like you're rearranging chairs for no reason, in my opinion. I feel like keep him in the slot, lock that down. Sauce, you lock yours down, and then let's bracket coverage. Let's help out, put a safety over top in the other corner, and then we're all good. I don't think we need to do all this shuffling. What do you believe is the best plan, Mr. Woody? You talked about Bryce Hall being in there, and he's the only other body you can. But what is the plan from that perspective of where people play?
Yeah, I would actually agree. I think if the Broncos were at full strength, with their receivers, then maybe, you want to consider moving Michael Carter outside. Jerry Jeudy is electric. There's a lot of electricity when that line is healthy, or when that room is healthy. But they're all hobbled with injuries. So, you got one guy really to worry about. Let Sauce worry about that, even though they play a lot of zone. So it's not even like they're going to go from side to, they're not going to switch from side to side. So I don't even know if that part of it is relevant. But what I will say is that the outside weapons.
Just to jump in, Robert Saleh was asked during the presser, would Sauce shadow a receiver because of all this hoopla? Again, just throwing everything at the kitchen sink, switching positions and shadowing. And he said, he didn't say everything's on the table, but he just said, I'll leave that one out there. Like, he didn't shut it down like he has shut it down when asked about it in the past, which raised a lot of media eyebrows like, Again, I wouldn't do all that. I feel like, again, no offense, because if I say that, obviously people can't take offense. With all due respect, and then I can say whatever I want. It dems to rules. But you have those three receivers who are pretty talented, actually. You have Cortland Sutton, who has 3 touchdowns this season. You have Jerry Jeudy's a former first-rounder. And then Marvin Mims leads the team in receiving. He is an explosive rookie that's been making some plays. So they got 3, I don't want to call them stars, but 3 standouts at the receiver position. So that's kind of interesting that Sauce could have potentially, he was asked about potentially shadowing Sutton. Not Sauce himself, Saleh was asked about it. So he left it out there. Now, maybe he just left it out there for us to kind of do exactly what we're doing right now. But it seems like you did leave that door open. So it's not completely wild for you to mention that. That's all I'm saying.
Well, like you just said with Saleh, is the game speak? Is he, playing that chess like your commenters are trying to argue? Who knows? But I would definitely keep it as it is. Like you said, let people, excel what they're good at. They're excelling where they are. And then, Bryce, if we need to, put James in there, even though, like you said, he's special teams, whatever we can do, whatever window dressing, like you said, safety over the top, like whatever window dressing we could use, let's do it. And that's just all the reason to tell Bryce Huff, like, hey, man, we can't be letting people get out on an island over there. You need to hit Russ, can't cook, let's get that pressure up front.
Yeah, I agree there. That'd be great. And Saleh said it best to the presser when he's asked about all these possible scenarios. At the end of the day, just kind of recalibrated and said, guys, whatever it takes to win the game. We need to, he didn't use survive, but that's kind of what it is. Like, you're in an awkward situation with injuries. Just survive this week, and then, okay, we'll figure out next week. We don't have to change the game plan for the rest of the season right now, but we'll do whatever it takes, calling the audibles at the line of scrimmage necessary right freaking now to win this game against the Broncos. And then, hey, let's hope TJ Reed's back next week. Hey, let's hope Brandon Eccles is back here in the near future. Like, that's the proper strategy. So let's bring it all home here, Mr. Woody. Week 5, I'm saying must win again. I felt like I said that for the Patriots game. Now I'm saying it once again. I feel like I kind of mean it this time because from a perception standpoint, 1-4, 4 straight losses after the dramatic Bills win versus 2-3 against an Eagles team that, quite frankly, we'll get into it. I got a lot of great Eagles guests for next week already booked. But they haven't looked like the Eagles of Super Bowl lore last year. Like, they're undefeated, so I'm not trying to talk crap about the Eagles, but they look gettable. Washington should have beat them last week. Like, there are, so if you're the Jets and you're at home, like, it's not impossible. Now, it looks a lot more impossible at 1-4 than it does 2-3 to have the chance to go 500 at the bye. Again, a lot of people thought they were going to go 2-4 anyway. So this feels must win. And then all the extra personal stuff. I know a lot of the players have said the right things, but Connor McGovern let some of the juice out. He's like, we want to get payback. The Broncos did him dirty. And I hope he just kind of rallies the troops and revs them up and says, if we're going to get a game this season, boys, if we're going to get a game this season, this is it. And I hope they just get fired up. I would like an emphatic win. A win in general would be pretty cool, but I want an emphatic win. I want them to give them the business. Now, 70-20. Not too shabby. I'd rather not the defense give up 20 points, but I'll take a 70 burger from old Zach Wilson. What is our post-game reaction going to be like with that? Zach Wilson, 6 or 7 touchdown passes, you know what I mean? That seems pretty realistic, something like that. That'd be juicy. But let's get to prediction time. Woody, what's your prediction for this game? 70-20?
Well, I think that Zach will have 3 touchdowns. You said it's peculiar. It's terrible. He should be embarrassed of that stat to be in the league 3 years. Yeah. I mean, his peers don't. Even Davis Mills has done that. He's not even a starter this season. But I think the Broncos defense is that bad that this is a time. I don't think they're playing up. Like, I don't think they're like, oh, we got to prove what our coach said about Nathaniel Hackett. I don't think that's happening. But we know that our players are playing up to defend their coach. So I think we are going to see those 3 TDs plus a return. Brees has not found the end zone yet. I think this is
Crazy.
the time as well. So my final score is 34-17. New York Jets. This is the emphatic win.
Double them up, lap them. Okay.
Yes.
You know, I just watched the wonderful Brees Hall documentary earlier this week, which, by the way, I'm featured in multiple times. I know I'm a big deal. Thank you for all my beautiful voiceovers. Yes. I'll sign autographs after the show, people. Please hold your applause, for Pete's sake. Unbelievable. But also, besides, staring at myself in the mirror going, ooh, I'm pretty handsome. They didn't show me on camera, which is the better move, quite frankly. They just played my voice a few times because I'm the best looking man in radio. But the point is that during that Brees Hall documentary, the juices were flowing, and the juices that were flowing is basically the Brees Hall explosive games he had in high school and college of 4 or 5 touchdowns. Like, he hasn't had 1 touchdown this year. But where is that Brees game where he is just unstoppable and he's just boo. It's like it happens in high school a lot more than the NFL, but you have that 1-star running back. We used to have one here at Oswego High School. Shout out Damian Williams out there at 5,000 career rushing yards in Oswego High School history. We were in the same backfield, so we combined for 5,000 rushing yards. I just want to make that very clear. We were a superstar tandem, one could say. So someone could possibly say that. I'm not saying that, but someone else could say that about that group. And the point is that where every time he got the ball, it was 70-yard shots. I'm like, good Lord have mercy. Like, every time, and there's just no way to stop it. And then obviously, if that's happening, the Broncos have to, again, if we're switching that from high school football to the NFL, if that keeps happening, they got to kind of inch in closer, which opens up the opportunities potentially down the field, take some shots for old Zachy. So I'm going to give a prediction here. I'm going to go 40 burger to 10. That's what I see, baby.
Wow.
That's what I'm predicting. Yes, sir.
All right. Who is your optometrist?
That's a good question. No free plugs on this show. No free plugs.
Yeah. Whoever it is, we might need to check their license. But if that's what you see, then let's. I mean, hey.
Remember last week, pal? Yeah, remember last week.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't even say that. I'm a 40 burger. I'm ready for it. Bring me the ketchup. We about to have our 40 burger.
And as NYJ92 says, this is a good collab. James definitely matches your energy, Paul, LOL. And no one's done that in history. So that is quite an achievement to have from a juice perspective. We've had some superstar people on the show this week, and they're great and insightful and all these that's pretty juicy. My dad, who's watching, says that's more a veggie burger than all the burgers we've been talking about. Okay, touche. He's a Cowboys fan. He's waiting for Sunday Night Football tonight like we were last week. Phenomenal game, by the way. I'm looking forward to that Cowboys 49ers game. But so this will be a juicy burger, and the Jets are going to unload. I think they're just going to fire. Why I have such an emphatic score is twofold, because I think the Broncos can be got. And also for the Jets, they have all this personal juice. But I just feel like this can be the proper coming out party for everybody. The missing pieces to the puzzle, the defense starting slow, historically, quite frankly, under Saleh, but also in general, and the offense starting slow. You flip both of those factors and keep everything else full throttle. All of my prognostications, in my opinion, are certainly possible. And hell, Brees Hall did a one-on-one interview with Caroline Hendershot earlier this week and said the altitude makes me faster. He said, I know some people it slows them down. He said, I think last year it made me faster, and a 62-yarder to the house may agree with that. So nonetheless, all right. I know. Yeah, that's kind of brutal. That's unbelievable, quite frankly. But I'm hoping for some more juice. Obviously, I mean, hear my score prediction, baby. I'm hoping for some more juice, and I think we will get it. Woody, this should be a lot of fun. I can't wait. It won't be a lot of fun if the opposite happens, but I'm an optimistic guy. I see glass half full. I don't see the other part of the glass. So the Jets are going to open up a can of whoop-ass, and they're going to kick some Patuki, and I'm looking forward to it. We'll have a little time to wait here. We got the London game. That's pretty juicy. That'll be a good one. Bills, Jags. Get some 1 o'clock games. Okay. And then booyah, Jets, Broncos, season on the line, and they have an opportunity to turn it all around. I'm looking forward to it, pal.
Absolutely. Going to be Patukis all over Denver being kicked. Not just by Greg Zuerlein, our kicker, but by the entire New York Jets organization. All right. Yes. 4:25. It's kicking time.
Yes, it is. We will be back for Boy Green Daily tomorrow morning. We'll have Italy Jet He'll be with us tomorrow, but also we'll be back on later tonight. We have a post-game live stream after every single game. It's 2 hours after the final whistle. I like hearing the Sala and the players and giving you guys that information from those. So we try to wait. I know there's a lot of shows, and you guys could watch them that are on immediately after the game is over, but we are 2 hours after. So stay tuned. We'll be back later this evening. Woody, before we get you out of here, give all your plugs where people can hear, listen, consume, observe, and all that weird stuff to all of your content.
Absolutely. Instagram is my home at the James Woody. But I also got the podcast going, Take Flight Talk. That is take_flight_talk on Instagram as well. And of course, you can find us on YouTube, just talking, yelling at each other there as well. And that's also at Take Flight Talk, no underscores on YouTube. But that's it. That's it. Come on, go Jets, baby.
And I know we have a few audio-only listeners because this podcast is also available in that section, but I love your use of hand movement. I don't know if that's a proper sign language sign for underscore, but take what talk, underscore, talk, underscore, talk. I love that. That's very nice. It's almost like the beep, boop, pop, doing a little robot action, a little, hey, a little bit of that, a little, yeah, a little bit of that action happening. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're ready. We're ready.
Yes.
And I can't wait. We do this every single Sunday. If you appreciate that Woody energy that apparently matches mine, which makes me want to step up my energy to another level, every Wednesday. We are doing this all season long and beyond. So appreciate it. Thanks, Woody.
Absolutely. Sunday fun day.
Let's go. Let's roll, baby. Let's eat. Come on, Zach Attack. It's all you, baby. QB1, franchise quarterback. Never a doubt. Never a doubt. We'll see you guys later. Enjoy. God bless.